Hey guys, Dave here from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds, and today I have with me the full crew.
I'm Ted.
I'm Nate.
I'm Ryan.
And today we're going to delve into the PHP and the new Unearthed Arcana, only lightly into the PHP, but the only reason I bring it up is because...
Contrast.
Yeah, Watts had introduced a new version of the Ranger because people cried about it, I guess, enough. Which, you know, I have a whole thing about that. But, so Unearthed Arcana, Ranger, we have 5 levels of a playtest. Mm-hmm. You know, we've all read over it. I got some things highlighted on a piece of paper.
It's very efficient.
Yeah, and I went back and, you know, rechecked some things in the Ranger. So and we're ready to go.
If you haven't read it, it's available over on Watts. I'm certain we can grab the link and put it down below.
Yes, we can.
You know, there's something important I just noticed. There's like fishing tackle on the Ranger page. Like, really? Like, there's like a thing here. There's fish hooks here. Like, there's like a lure.
Well, he's a ranger. He's the wilderness.
It's nature, but it's like alluring. He likes to go fishing. I'd rather be fishing as like his bumper sticker than ranging.
Yeah, on his horse.
Yeah, exactly.
So the designer notes say the Ranger presented here was built around a small number of concepts that define the class. These concepts serve to make the class distinct and create a cohesive sense of the Ranger's place in the world. So some people feel that the Ranger that's presented here doesn't really fit in, and it's underpowered in comparison to some of the other classes.
So to that, I want to say, I think the Hunter Ranger is fine. There's nothing wrong with him. He does everything.
Companion is the terrible.
He does everything it's supposed to in the game. It's efficient in combat, and it has cool out of combat uses and flavor.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know, the hallmark of the Ranger for the longest time has been favorite enemy, and this is the only edition of the game where I actually like the favorite enemy and what they've done with it.
Well, the favorite enemy, like, it doesn't really do much. It's just like it helps you find them.
Yes,
like,
you have the ability to know about them and track them, which to me I think is all you really need.
And bonus language. And
the bonus language, if
but
available.
I mean, but like, so in past editions, it's so rare and fleeting that you come across your favorite enemy. But yeah, like it was actually statistical, like advantages. So like this is more flavor.
3rd edition just layered, you know, as it did with everything else, just layered bonuses and bonuses.
And you got to hate more things.
And it's like, that doesn't make sense. Why do I have to hate everything under the sun?
Yeah, to be efficient. So what they did is they scaled down the power level of what that part of the Ranger is, but they made it more interesting. Right. And by scaling down the power, what it does is goes, okay, we don't actually have to count this when we like figure out other stuff for the mechanics of this class.
Right. Yeah, well, it's more exploration, you know, language, and being able to track them better in things. That's all exploration stuff. That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and also too, like they could have just changed the language and did like favorite quarry or something like that. Like I know favorite enemy is like, you know, it's got a tradition in second ed or whatever, but favorite quarry, it's like you just hunt this thing very well. Like,
yeah, but it still leads to the same problems of it becomes a strong ability versus certain things.
I'm just talking about linguistically and not statistically.
Well, not the mechanics.
What I believe they did with this edition was they took out everything that was going to be, oh, this is good if the DM makes it good.
Yeah.
Like if you never, I'm aberrations. Well, we're in a city and there's no aberrations anywhere. Ever.
Yeah.
So it's
they don't
like
exist in this world.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you get a bonus to these creatures for like social role-playing kind of things where you get their language and you also get to be able to do other things, but not like just straight-out bonuses, and then say, well, you get all these bonuses to all these specialized creatures, so we have to make you crummy the rest of the time. So like he's just, like the hunter's just overall good at everything. Right. That he's set out to be good at.
Then he's got some expertise in this, like, you know, one area.
Yeah, and it doesn't, like, make it say, like, well, now I need to balance their regular combat abilities against when they're just, like, fighting a regular guy instead of their favorite enemy.
Yes.
Just take humans. It's just like, I was raised around humans. I know their habits.
Well, that's another cool thing they do with the favorite. If you choose a humanoid race, you get 2 instead of 1.
Yeah.
Because they're going, well, yeah, I mean, it's very limiting for this game
Humans
compared to the other ones.
Yeah, humans, if they're the most populous.
Well, you could just be a bounty hunter. Why wouldn't you pick humans in, like, another...
The bounty hunter definitely has to have humans as his favorite.
It's not would have to. I mean, and if you're a ranger assassin, you know, humans. They're everywhere.
So with that, let's move on to the actual Ranger.
Right.
So basically, they had 3 tracks that they want the ranger to be able to be good at skirmishing, wandering, and being a guardian.
Right.
And basically, I bring this up because I've seen other YouTubers reviewing this class, and I heard one go, I don't even know how it works because they get 2 hit dice. How does that work for their healing? Right, but right under Wander, it actually says the reason why they get 2 dice is to make them have a resource that they can choose how to use it more efficiently. So where the barbarian rolls a die 12 when it uses one of its hit dice to heal,
and it could get a 1.
It could get a 1. The ranger has 2 die 6 to use for every level, so it gets double the number.
He gets to ration his hit points better. Yeah.
Yeah. So it becomes a resource management thing.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that they gave the ranger the highest hit die. Like that is like
equal to a barbarian
mechanically. Yeah. I mean,
well, with 2 die 6, statistically, you're going to get the top less often, but you'll get the higher median. So it is the highest, and it's not at the same time.
But the 7 matches what the barbarian gets anyway.
Yeah, if you just take the hit points.
Yeah, if you just take what's the mean or what the book lists. Rangers and barbarians have the most. So that definitely is a move in a different direction than what previous editions of D&D have done.
There's a reason why that doesn't bother me at all. And when you get to proficiencies, here's why. Armor, light armor, and shields.
They took away medium.
They took away medium armor. You're getting hit more if you go into melee combat. And if you're actually a 2-weapon fighting ranger, which is pretty popular,
right.
You don't get to use a shield, so you're going to get hit even more.
Right.
So
archery, yeah.
Yeah.
Archery.
Well, archery will fix that.
Or you skirmish like the class suggests and just not be there to be hit.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they definitely made it with the other abilities that we'll get into. But I don't have a problem with the hit points either, because when you think about it, if you had to pick 2 classes out of all of them, that would just be like, I need to travel to this town. Get a party of adventurers because it's dangerous, or just walk there. I think Barbarian and Ranger would be the guys that'd be like, I'm just going to go.
By myself?
Whenever you get the wagon train together, guys, you can join me.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, like you said, I'm fine with that. They got simple martial weapons. We already mentioned the 2 die 6 per level. Fine. Tool proficiency, herbalism kit. Love it. I like this idea. Absolutely. It's very Aragornish in my opinion. Which would be the archetype ranger. So that's kind of cool. Does it do anything for you? No, not really. I mean, you can, maybe come up with an antitoxin or something.
Make a poultice or
yeah,
right,
yeah.
But it's just a cool flavor thing. I like it. Okay, here's a sticking point. Saving throws. This is gonna make Nate so fucking happy.
Yes! When I saw it.
Nate, let me break it to you. This is a typo. Someone screwed up. You know what?
There's already a errata for it? No.
Yeah, those are like the 2 strongest saving throws.
I know. I knew.
Dex, Con, and Wisdom are your good saves.
Should have gave them all 3.
Charisma, Intelligence, and Strength are your bad saves.
Every other class has got one of each.
Yeah.
It's like, balance, jam, take that.
And not only that, so this is really like your saving throws are really kind of denoting the flavor that I've gotten from reading it is you want a good wisdom, you want a good dex, and with not being able to wear medium or heavy armor, you're going to need the dex to help you. This is really, it leans a lot towards going, hey, you should really be an archer,
right?
In my opinion,
or a finesse fighter.
Yeah, or finesse.
I like the idea that they don't actually get any spell casting.
Oh, but they've also keyed some other things off of wisdom too. Like
there's definitely other things, but they're not spellcasters. They still get 3 skills in addition to their tool proficiency. So they're now
actually bumped up 1.
Yeah. So essentially, it's bumped up 1. So they're one of the most skill heavy classes now with Bard and Rogue.
Right. Well, Rogue still has 1 up on them.
Rogue is still
they originally got
the
3, right? But they're getting a tool.
But now they get a tool on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Rogue gets 4 plus a tool proficiency. Right. So they're still the gods of skills. And Bard is, what is Bard? 3?
3 and 3 musical instruments.
Yeah. So they get a lot. But musical instruments, whatever. You play a flute, the drums, and the lute. So what?
Dodge this
Dude, bagpipe.
Yeah. So all that is fine. I like where they went with that stuff. Good enough. Now we get into the abilities. Now this is where they turn the corner and things get really interesting. They kept Natural Explorer and Primeval Awareness.
But Ambuscade, man.
Ambuscade.
Yeah, that is pretty freaking
Yeah, I'm
sick.
just going to go first.
I have this ability. It's called Go First.
Yeah, unless you're surprised, and in which case you're just not surprised. And
It's like, okay, well, I'll act on my initiative this turn.
Yes.
Because, I'm just not surprised. It's like, dude, it's freaking
This really
fantastic.
sets up the Ranger Rogue hardcore.
Yes.
I mean, because with your sneak attack, and then you're getting out of the way. He's got some abilities to get out of the way that we'll talk about too.
Assassin.
Yeah.
The assassin archetype, you're like, yeah, I get to go first. Boom. Let's crit every time there's a fight, pretty much.
Yeah.
And but it is only there's only 2 actions you can use: hide or attack. So it's not like extremely overpowered. I'm okay. It makes it really useful. It replaces favorite enemy in a really good way. I'm okay with that one.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Next we have Nitrous Explorer, fighting styles. That's all the same from PHB Ranger. Skirmisher Stealth. What do you guys think of this one?
I like it a lot.
It's kind of weird in the sense that you're hidden from one person.
Yeah, but
if there's 10 orcs, there's like one orc that can't see you, and everybody else, dude, he's right there. Where?
Yeah,
right there. Oh no!
It is kind of
Hidden is more like
is
obscuring. It would be like Ted goes behind that screen, and I don't know which side of the screen he's going to come back around, even though it's not like he's invisible.
Yeah,
No.
it's like that he's there. It's just you can't get a beat on him.
but to one person.
To one person.
It's
Well,
kinda
you
silly.
can still attack him. You just do it with disadvantage. So I mean, he's there, and you can probably even see parts of him, but.
Right, it's fine until you get to 2 people. Then it gets weird.
It's like if he's hiding, if Ted's hiding from
swing,
you.
Ted, shoot Ryan with something, through Dave.
Yeah,
Ryan's hit.
Yeah, but you're talking mechanics, right? I'm talking common sense or just like logic and ration goes. Why can 9 of the 10 people see him, but the one guy is like, "I don't know what you guys are talking about." It's weird. You want to defend it, but it is weird.
No, hidden is still okay. They really should have said partially obscured or something, but that doesn't sound like a really good skill to take.
But it's from one guy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Technically, the mechanics of it all, it really should be. You should be able to position yourself, in a quote unquote blind spot, and if you can tactically create the situation,
They just assume that you do that. If there's 2 people, you're just using the other person to obscure yourself from the other one.
But realistically speaking, there's nothing that says that you have to mechanically do that. So you can literally be standing in the middle of nowhere. You're right there. You can't see me.
Well,
LARP style.
It leads to a
I'm
lot
actually glad they
of
didn't
silliness.
tactician it up and be like, you have to have a tree or a shrub to hide behind.
Let me just say, the ability is
silly.
cool. Don't think about it too hard, or you'll hurt yourself.
Yes,
with laughter.
Your brain will shatter.
I will 100% agree with that, Dave.
Yeah.
Is this also the one where you get, as a bonus action, you can take the hide action?
Again,
At the end of your turn.
As a bonus action at the end of the turn, you can make a dex stealth check to hide if you fulfill the conditions.
Yeah, so again, very cool because in this way you can actually still hide from everybody, except for the one guy. You do not have to fulfill the conditions for him. But
you can't see me very well.
I'm sorry,
You can't see me very well is the rest of that statement.
Yeah.
I just see a battalion of soldiers,
currently
going.
Hidden from Ryan.
Where's Nate go? Where
No,
is
you
he?
know where I am.
don't
You
know.
just can't hit me with regular. You have to hit me with disadvantage.
There's a whole army there, and they all pointing to the one guy. He's right there.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I can kind of make out something over there a little bit. Dude, he's standing in the middle of the plane. How can you not see him?
He furled his cloak in such a way.
Yeah, it's like so.
All right.
I'm for it. I'm not going to make fun of it. I think it's appropriate.
I'm for it too, but I'm absolutely going to make fun of
It's
it.
just ridiculous.
It's a game. Spirit Paths. This is where the Ranger kind of shines from Unearthed Arcana, and I have mixed feelings. I feel like Spirit Path should be one of 2 paths, instead of being the path that you choose. Because in this instance, you're pretty much all these Rangers are your Beast Companion Rangers.
Reskinned, yeah.
Well,
reskinned to be Drizzt
good.
Do'Urden.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. But basically, they didn't give any of them a panther, but you can just change one of them to make them have a panther.
Don't change the wolf to a panther.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So should we tell them what we're talking about?
Sure.
Let's go ahead.
So, okay, so the spirit path is basically you're going to choose a path. There's going to be the guardian, the stalker, and there's one in between there, the seeker, and they're each tied and keyed to a different
The seeker doesn't get a special sword though.
No, they're each tied to basically like a totem animal. I want to say.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And you have a brown bear, and when I had to go back and reread it, I'm like giant eagle. That's nice.
No, just an eagle.
That was giant.
Is
eagle.
it a giant eagle?
It's a fucking giant eagle.
Well,
Oh crap! It is.
And those guys, I think, even in this edition, even have a language. And then there's the dire wolf.
and then you could just take the giant eagle to Mordor and just drop the ring right in the volcano.
Yeah, be done with it.
Yeah, it's over.
Unless someone breaks your concentration, then you're boned.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna drop more than a ring in the volcano.
That's true.
Plop.
So that being
And then who's gonna be
said,
king?
each path gives you the ability once a day to summon your beast companion, or I don't even know if they call it a beast companion.
Is
but
it really once per day or
your
long
spirit
rest,
companion
or-
once a day?
Okay.
Long
Short
rest.
or long?
No, that's for the ability.
Oh, okay.
The actual summoning itself. You.
Says you regain your ability to call on your spirit companion when you finish a short or long rest.
For some reason I was thinking
All
it
right.
was.
You know what? I felt like I read in the design notes it was saying you only have access to this ability once a day because it was so powerful.
Yeah, I felt like I read that somewhere too.
You know what? Like it might have been like,
A
oh,
typo.
I'm writing up here this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And then later they're like, yeah, that doesn't really work well.
Yeah.
So they made it
That's-
short. So short or long, I thought it was just long rest or once per day, so that's way
Well,
better.
yeah, I think it is. Once per day, the bonus action, you can command your spirit companion to materialize once per day. This other thing is using the ability. That's the difference. So, okay, guys,
so you can
let's
summon
back
it
up.
with one,
Yeah.
and you can use the ability every short rest.
Yes.
All right.
That's
All
what
right.
I had read.
This is stinking less than I thought it was. I thought it was you could summon him or use the ability once a day.
Once a day, you call the animal forth for a minute. It will do whatever you want,
and beat the crap out of things.
but it's a concentration effect. And I highlighted this because this is hilarious, right? It's a concentration effect. It works just like a spell, but you can control its actions even if you are unconscious or otherwise unable to act. But your spirit companion manifests as an animal for 1 minute until your concentration is broken, as if you are concentrating on a spell. So essentially,
If you're unconscious, you're not concentrating on shit.
right? It's a little bit of a typo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it
that's
could also say
inconsistency.
it works like
Yeah.
concentration until you're unconscious, and then you can control it still.
Yeah, so right there needs to be a rules clarification, or your DM just can make the call. On that one,
Does it
once
stick around to defend you?
once a day.
It's just the specifics. You can
Yeah.
still control it even though you're unconscious.
Yeah, but technically it's supposed to be go away if you can't concentrate,
Right.
as per the spell.
Well, if you if
I
you
mean,
if you
rules
get
as
knocked
written,
down,
yeah.
So if you get knocked down,
Well, you know
and you
what,
pass
that-
your concentration check,
Yeah.
you can still control
you
it
know
while
what
you're
I think
unconscious.
they're trying to do is say if you're a ranger caster, you can't have a spell active that you're concentrating and have this thing present.
No, because it says like a spell, not you have to.
You're
is
concentrating on
count.
this. You can't
we
concentrate
all
on this
we,
and other
we all know
concentration
how
spell.
concentration works, but they have a specific ruling at the bottom of that sentence, at the on that paragraph, that
That breaks.
states you still control it while you're unconscious.
Right.
Therefore, you can still control it while you're unconscious.
I
Even though
think
we
it's
all know how
something to
concentration
have-
works.
Except for it wouldn't
spells
technically be
and-
there if you go by the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
So that one, I
Need
don't
some
know.
clarification.
Some clarification, or your DMs just decide how you're going to do it in your game. In my game, I just let it stay.
Right.
It's a minute.
Once
Once
a
per
day.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once a day, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And if it really bothers you, it's still there. Just kill the fuck out of it.
It's got half the hit points of the ranger, so
If you can drop a ranger, you can drop his companion. So that's really cool. And then we have the actual abilities of each one.
right.
And these are the things that you can actually use once per short rest. Guardian Shroud, very cool. Bonus hit points for you or one of your companions.
Yep.
2d6 plus your wisdom. The only thing these don't stack, and like I said, this only goes up to 5th level, so we don't know what those other abilities would be.
Right.
But it's a really cool template to kind of build off of,
Right.
what they've got laid out. Seeker is basically you can either get advantage or give advantage to one of your companions. So, like, if you are the rogue ranger, or if you have a rogue in your party, or you know, or you want to give
No,
your paladin.
It's even better. It says, you know, as a bonus action, you invoke your spirit companion and choose a creature you can see. Until the end of your next turn, all attacks made against the chosen creature have advantage.
So it's the creature,
it's a
not,
creature.
yeah.
Oh, that is
So
even
it's like
better.
you. Everybody's gonna hit you this turn.
Yeah.
You got your paladin with his
Smites.
and his cleave too, like because all right, I have
Well, anybody can
advantage.
have cleave, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Ryan likes cleaves.
I really
And
like cleaving,
paladins together.
but a paladin cleaving, smiting, like you would do gobs of damage, and an oath of vengeance. You also get the hunter's mark.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you could just bomb the crap out of somebody.
So yeah, Seeker is really a very, very strong support character. And then you have Stalker, which Stalker is basically, yeah, I'm gonna fuck some shit up in combat. I mean, you're doing an extra 2d6 plus wisdom modifier.
Yeah, damage.
Yeah, dude, Seeker, if you have like some heavy hitters in your party and or a rogue, like seems like the most like I'm going to destroy. Like
Yeah.
you can change targets with that too, right? The Seeker, or is it you only get to do that like once during?
See, your companion spirit lends its sharp combat senses to you, and your companions as a bonus action, you invoke your spirit companion and choose a creature you can see. Till the end of your next turn, all attacks against the chosen creature has advantage.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
it's
you
a
get-
one
you get-
shot to
yeah.
really kill somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you know the bears, you know, 2d6, you know, plus wisdom modifier, hit points for one creature, you know, it's temporary. The Seeker, you can get one thing to get advantage on for a round, and the Stalker, one attack on one thing gets 2d6.
Yeah, so these aren't very strong at all. You know, I heard people whining and crying, babies,
Yeah, it's
about being overpowered. But
it's all like one, you know, essentially one round situations.
yeah,
So it's not. It's not killer effects.
I'd say the Seeker is probably the most powerful out of that one because that's the one that gives advantage, right,
Yes.
to everybody.
yeah.
Because you're really
It's a
probably
dog
gonna
pile
just
effect.
totally stomp
I mean,
whatever that is.
Compared to the regular ranger that just can pretty much cast Hunter's Mark every combat, you know, 2d6 plus wisdom, sure, you hit hard once, but the regular ranger, especially if you're a hunter, with the one that if they're already damaged, you do an extra die 8.
Yeah, you're doing D8, D6.
Every attack almost, you know,
Yeah.
pretty much. So, you know, I think this is a cool build and a class. I think this would be a little bit better as, you know, not a ranger, but maybe like if they were to reinstitute the warden from 4th edition or something and build it like this.
Yeah.
I-
You know, also too though, this is very Drizzt. Like it's very like they gave him Guinevere. You know, like that's that's like
he's a Stalker. You know.
yeah. Well, I mean, they built the most Drizzt-y ranger. You could
So
possibly-
I look at this and, you know, while there's a lot of cool stuff, I'd like to see what the next 15 levels are going to look like. But just looking at it, as you said, in comparison to the Hunter, you're not gonna be pulling out the same damage. And with the stripped out spells, I think that really, you know, this is still weaker than the Hunter. That's my guess.
But better than the Beastmaster.
But better than that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I understand when I first saw like Paladin of the Woods or whatever they're in the description of it, I was like, oh, are they gonna get Fine Steed and can cast it on and make Beast Companions instead? That would be awesome.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's the initial thing I went to, and they didn't go there
I
because
like-
basically they would have invalidated the Beastmaster, basically.
I liked the idea of where they said that they were the Paladin of the Woods. It kind of steps on the toes of the Order of the Ancients.
Well,
Like, that already exists.
that's the opposite. I think the Order of the Ancient gets in the Rangers territory, but I don't actually really care.
It gets nice in your
necessarily about
ranger.
that. They're 12 distinct classes, but you know,
Right.
how many of them swing swords? You know, like, they all step on each other, as far as I'm concerned. The swing sword.
So yeah, I like it. It's got a nice feel. It's definitely something that I would play. Whereas the Beast Companion, as it's written, I wouldn't. You know, I just, you know, I want to see what else is there before I give the final.
Final thumbs up.
Yeah.
But we only have what's there, so we
Oh,
have
absolutely.
to gauge it on that.
We just have to wait.
Yeah, these 5 levels they're solid 5 levels.
Yeah, I like the fluff and the feel to this version of a ranger more so than the mechanics. There's a couple things in there that are really cool, but overall, I don't think it doesn't replace the ranger and the PHP in my opinion. The hunter is superior. The Beastmaster will always suck. That's why we fixed it in our game, and with the fix that I instituted in my game, I'd probably rather play that Beastmaster.
I like the fluff in this one, and I like the mechanics that they give you. I'd like to see the first like 5 levels play out in a game like where they're just like the straight ranger and see how that all pans out.
Yeah. Well, the problem solved with only having 5 levels. You just take 5 levels of ranger and 15 levels of rogue assassin, and
you don't have to worry about it.
Awesome.
yeah. There you go.
And then stack some psionic celerity onto that. Plus 10 initiative.
Yeah.
I guess you wouldn't need it then, actually,
Yeah.
with always going first.
Yeah.
Well, you could go first and second. Because right, isn't it? If a creature hasn't acted, double crit.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that how that would work?
Yeah, I would think so.
I act first. I act first from shadows. I attack. I get plus 10 to my initiative. Guess what? I got a 25. I attack.
Yeah.
You're only gonna get the sneak once, but you're gonna be able to crit on every attack before.
Yeah.
And since you're
a ranger, you get 2 attacks.
Well, no. You have to figure out how to seeker them too, so you get advantage. So then isn't it every time you get advantage, you can use stuff like that? Oh, you won't get the double.
You can only sneak attack once per round.
right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah.
But you'll still be able to crit with everything else.
But I don't know how Guardian of the Forest somebody was going to be like an assassin. So I don't know how those would mix together.
Killing for nature,
wise.
dude. Yeah,
Killing for nature.
You're like Greenpeace, like a Greenpeace assassin.
Like Judge Dredd
Well,
of the Forest.
it says that they're like the paladins of the woods. Well, if you're a hunter of the things that are destroying the forest.
I don't remember the name of the character, but in the Mickey Reichert Zucker trilogy, Last of the Renshai, later on they introduce a hunter character who Colby always refers to as an archer, and he hates it because he doesn't consider himself a soldier or a warrior. But so he loses an eye, I think, later in the series, and he steals a kill from Colby. Which is really a dangerous thing to do, and by putting an arrow right through like an arrow slit or something, or the
visor.
The visor, and just because he kind of wanted to prove he still had it. So like that guy might have some levels of assassin without being an assassin. As far as the accuracy,
there are some getting totally off topic. MZR, if you haven't read the Renshai stuff, go check it out. Like some people, when they build characters, they're actually looking at, like, they're distinctively different.
It's ability
classes.
sets and not necessarily the class. Sometimes.
Right. If you're statting out your character's level arc, you can say, well, I'm going to go in this direction, I'm going to go in that direction, and especially things that don't require hardcore training. Like, I'm going to become a cleric and learn to cast these spells, or I'm going to be a wizard and learn to cast these spells. It can be just martial sets that complement what you're working on, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, there's definitely classes that don't actually identify themselves. Like a fighter doesn't go, I'm a fighter. A rogue's not going around, I'm a rogue. A bard might identify himself as a bard or a minstrel or a skald. A wizard, well, yeah, they probably say they probably use the term wizard.
I'm a wizard.
A warlock, I don't know that you go around going, I'm a warlock.
No, you're definitely on the down low.
A paladin, you're a holy warrior of your god, so you could actually say, a paladin of. It works. A ranger kind of works. A monk,
ranger, warder.
A monk. You're from a monastery.
You just boot people to the head.
Yeah, pretty much. But but then there's also classes like the fighter and the rogue that just like have a skill set and they're not really going to identify. I'm a soldier or whatever.
Yeah, battle master. You don't actually say that, and if you're like, I'm a battle master, come get it. Because you're actually saying you're a master of battle.
Yeah.
But I guess that would just be a skilled tactician or a skilled fighter. That wouldn't be, or a skilled warrior.
So it's really a matter of,
So you're saying that assassins don't have to join an assassin's guild and kill people for money?
Like you could just say, like, all right, well, I'm just naturally good. Suppose you're saying, all right, well, I started off as a ranger and I took all these levels of rogue, all my stuff as an assassin.
You're an archer of
my father was a surgeon, so like I just know where to hit people.
So it's like you're just naturally skilled at archery, and when push comes to shove, if they haven't moved yet, you've got to jump on them and bam!
And honestly, it actually bringing it back to on topic, with being a ranger, if you are technically a hunter, you know where to hit things to kill it, because the last thing you want to do as a hunter is make your prey suffer.
Leave something,
so it actually, in some ways, makes more sense for the ranger to have similar abilities to the assassin.
So like a sneak attack,
because they understand anatomy. more so than one of the other classes
For
might.
a different reason.
Yeah, for a different reason. But and again, other classes with actual martial training, like is one of the things you learn. Like you learn where major arteries are because you want to cut them. You want to end the fight as soon as possible. You're like, I don't know, I keep bashing this guy in his thigh. I don't know why he's not dying.
Well, you got to get to the other side of the thigh.
Yeah.
So after having ranged far to field and found our way back, I think we're ready to bring this one in.
I believe so.
Yep. So you guys can like, comment, share, subscribe.
You can check us out on nerdarchy.com.
When you head over to nerdarchy.com, you can check out the store.
You also check out funny memes over at Facebook.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.